this relationship was a character building relationship for me. I was hurt so much through this relationship.
He is not going to change for you. He will never be the man you need him to be. People change for who they want to change for.
What is it with men these days and not wanting to date?
Y'all saw the red flags. You just ignored them.
That's why I like to throw a monkey wrench into the dating world and just be me from the get-go.
They'll discard you when they don't need you anymore. You gotta wake up, honey. They're already using you.
Views. It wants you to look good. Serves you every day. Hey guys, welcome back to More to Life. Before I get into this video, I ask that you like, comment, subscribe. Also, smash that notification bell just to be sure you get my videos as soon as I release them. Let's get right into this one.
There are so many women in the comments on my last video talking about their experiences of how they were with a man who pretended to be one way and turned out to be the complete opposite. And there are men still commenting saying, y'all saw the red flags, you just ignored them.
You know, it's almost like it's a people thing, right? Like, men and women both will do the same thing. They'll pretend to be some way for that 4 to 8 month mark and then flip the switch when they can no longer maintain that, right? But then you got the other part of it is that we do see red flags. Men and women see red flags. Women will see red flags in a man, but because he's hot, he's tall, has money, status, clout, has a big D, knows how to use it, y'all will excuse a lot of behavior. You ignore those red flags. Men do the same thing. Woman got a nice set of big old, knows how to out of you. She's a baddie, she's hot, maybe she's got some status and clout, whatever. Dudes will ignore a lot of behavior. It's like, what? It's a human thing. That's why I like to throw a monkey wrench into the dating world and just be me from the get-go. They never know. They go, I don't know. He's going to change. He's going to change. Yeah, it can't be this way.
Well, also, it's not only that. A lot of guys, not even a lot of guys. You know what I've heard a lot of women say? A lot of me. Yeah, they actually say this. A lot of me. Tell me a lie to get me. I've heard it. Blew my mind every time I've heard it. But yes, and a lot of women are like that. Almost all women. They'd rather be lied to. They'd rather a guy look a certain way and tell them fibs to get them and then maybe dead them later on. But most of the time not, because most of the time it's not. Exactly like he just explained. They're not leaving them because they got something good. They look bad or whatever. It's sad, but that's how it is nowadays.
Since I have some awesome guys on TikTok right now listening, I'm thinking, may I have your opinion, please? What is it with men these days and not wanting to date? Do you guys have a fear of commitment? Is it the woman these days?
Absolutely.
Does it have anything to do with spending money on women? Does it have anything to do with trust issues?
Trust issues stuff too.
Maybe dating apps? Maybe you feel
Dating
like
apps,
there
yes.
are endless options in terms of significant others?
No, it's not endless
Please let me
options
know
for
in the
men.
comments.
Just endless options for significant others. For women, for men, no. It's not. It's unlimited options for a few men. So guys have given up on it. A lot of women ask these questions because they struggle. And not only that, women like her, maybe trying to get famous on TikTok, most likely. But still, a lot of women voice their concerns because they're struggling. And they don't realize, even for the woman that's a 2 or 3, she has more options sometimes than a guy that's a 7, 8. And men don't want to deal with it anymore. If a man is a 5 or 6, he's been thinking in his head, why would I waste my time? I could just keep on doing what I'm doing and stack up my money. A lot of guys are focused on that now.
It's what we do, right? Yeah.
You know what? Let me go to work. Let me call. Let me save. Let me go to work. Let me call. Let me do this. Let me do what I do outside of it. Let me have a hobby. Come home, save, and stay to myself. Not to be lonely by myself. A lot of guys are comfortable by themselves. I've seen tons of men say, hey, I've been alone by myself until I was 35, And now I'm this guy and have 50,000, 60,000 bucks. That's what guys are getting. So guys are fine being alone.
Find it disrespectful when a man asks for a DNA test. I don't know. Right. Why is that disrespectful?
In my last relationship, my ex told me that he would want to get our kids' DNA tested if I wasn't with him all the time. If he could not see what I was doing every single second of the day, he would want to get our kids' DNA tested.
Why does she find that like shocking? That's smart. If a man is not seeing what you're doing all the time, which no men can, he should want to get a DNA. You know, this woman, I'm getting tired of women doing this. I'm gonna let her speak though. You see the attitude she has. A lot of women has this attitude, and it's not their baby.
I'm not going to go too deep into detail, but I will give y'all a little bit of context. This relationship was a character building relationship for me. This was one of those relationships where I had to get therapy after I got out of it. I was hurt so much through this relationship. I put so much into that relationship. Even after he hurt me so many times, I put so much into it. This was at the ending of our relationship, after all the dirt had been done. That's when he told me that. So yes, it felt like a slap in the face. I was very insulted because I had never given him a...
This is the same woman that'll say this and have two guys on the side. I'm not saying she did that, but you guys know what I'm talking about.
Reason to not trust me, whereas him, he gave me so many reasons to not trust him. I completely understand the importance of DNA testing even being a thing, because I do believe that it is important. The thing is that this conversation is so sensitive and it should not be taken lightly. That's not something you just throw around. No matter when you feel the need to request a DNA test, do so in good faith. Do it at an appropriate time and do it in an appropriate manner. The requesting of a DNA test can definitely start a lot of conflict from one end or both ends. And that's something that can easily affect the child. If you know before you even got somebody pregnant that you want to get a DNA test done, then you need to let your partner know that. If concern comes during the pregnancy or after the pregnancy, then please handle that conversation with grace and maturity. This is not one of those things where every situation that a DNA test is brought up in is the exact same. So this conversation is not necessarily black and white. Every woman that gets offended by that is not guilty. It's not that every woman is up to something. Sometimes it is just really insulting depending on what kind of situation that woman is in.
No, it's not. Yeah, you may have felt the guy did you wrong, but no man is wrong. A man is smart. 33% of men that have kids don't have kids. I doubt that he looked it up. You're probably right. He probably is a dirtbag. But the man has some sense. He may be saying it to hurt you, but if he means it, he means it. You can't change that.
Oh, you gotta watch this.
My brother just married a woman he's only known for 7 months. Congratulations to my brother, and I love him, right? But this is the twist. He was with a woman for 10 years. Everything she asked my brothers to do, he is doing for this woman that he has only known for 7 months. Bottom line, bro, I love you if you're watching this, but I had to share it. Stop begging these men to do things you need to be done.
Now, a couple things may matter. How she looked, her attitude, and a few other things. Her personality, all these things matter. She doesn't know how his ex acted when they were alone. The ex could have told you she acted this way and showed another way to him. I just have to say that, because a lot of you guys that are looking at this video right now understand, but sometimes women don't understand. To her, it's black and white. We see it in a whole bunch of colors.
Wow. 7 months after a decade-long relationship. Can you believe that? It really makes you think, what drives people to commit? Is it the time they spend together or more?
Because he is not going to change for you. He will never be the man you need him to be.
Don't make assumptions.
Because you are not the woman that he wants to be with. People change for who they want to change for. Stop preaching and start waiting patiently for your husband.
That's a valid point. It's not about...
See, now I get where they're coming from. They're coming from, and they don't realize it. It's a one-sided argument. It is. Like, you don't know what he went through, right? You don't know if she was a nagger. It's a lot of things that play their part. That new woman could have been smooth as butter. Yes, she could have been a woman. She could have been feminine.
I want something feminine and delicate.
Do you know how many women nowadays are not feminine and delicate? Yeah, she could have been a woman in the States that was feminine and delicate and presenting herself like a woman. And that's why he married her.
About the quick marriage, but the fact that he did not want to marry the woman that he was with for 10 years. What do you think? Why would someone stay without taking that plunge?
Hey y'all, so my brother is a little upset that I posted the video, but he did give me his why, so here it is. His why for marrying the woman that he's only been with for 7 months and never marrying his ex of 10 years was because she never left. He says that he unconsciously never became the best version of himself because the woman that he was in love with at the time was okay with who he was in his eyes. As far as he believed, she loved him no matter what, so there's no need for me to rush and change. I don't know what I need to really change. She's just fussing. He says that he never really understood that there was a change that needed to be had until he left her and he dated a few women and they weren't tolerating what he was putting his ex through. So with that, he met his now wife that he's only known for 7 months and he was ready. Don't attack me, y'all. I'm just sharing the message. It happens, and honestly, it is valid. A lot of the time, we accept a man not giving us what we really deserve. And for that reason, they lose respect for us and they end up being with another woman and giving that woman everything.
No, he said it. And I like that she came back and told it, right? The guy admitted a couple of women. He went through a couple. He said it. You said it just now. That weren't hearing it, but then he realized, hey, I did wrong, and he probably didn't see a reason to go back to his ex. It must have been a bad break, but he realized he's like, I'll give an example, right? Me and my past exes are not meant to happen. What's meant to happen is me with my wife. That's right there, right? So anything that happened, things happened in that certain way to put a person where he should be now. So his ex has to see it as a learning experience, just as he is. He's going through it right now. He's married now. Don't use that as a example for other women, because you're dead wrong. You're right, but also you're wrong. Right? What do I mean by that? Because everything is, sometimes people won't learn unless they go through it, and then they're not meant to get back into it with that person. It just happens. Got to move on, and she has to move on and not be her or any other woman that happens to. Has to say, okay, that happened, that's out of the way. Let me find my next situation and go into it with a better attitude and go into it a little bit more diligently. Because listening to these videos like this will have women all mixed up. A lot of women are all mixed up because they think, oh, then they turn around and say,
baby, see this? It's because you're not complaining enough? That's usually my line.
And drive the man away.
Thing that we begged him for. So that's the whole purpose of that video that I just posted. Don't beg.
This is really eye-opening. He stayed out of convenience. He stayed because she wouldn't leave, not because he was truly committed. Then he meets someone that challenges him. Then boom, marriage. Boom, he's doing everything for her that he wouldn't do for the other woman. You think being challenged in a relationship is a key to knowing you found the one? Don't waste your time if they're not willing to commit. It's tough, but it's true. If someone really wants to be with you, they'll show it. Have any of you experienced this? Please share your thoughts and drop those comments. Let's get this conversation started. Don't forget.
Yeah. But that's how I feel about that situation. And most of the time it doesn't work out for the person you were with.
And they'll use you anyway. They'll use you for your body.
Hey, don't hate the player, hate the game.
Your time, your attention, your energy. They'll even use you to help build up their own lives, their own empires, and then they'll discard you when they don't need you anymore.
It's not my fault.
So all you fools crying and screaming over here over the fact that accusing me of using men, I'm transactional because I ask for nice things. You gotta wake up, honey. They're already using you. It's time to open your eyes and grow up, please.
So it's okay for a woman to be 3 or 4s, right? Because they're sleeping with guys and getting gifts and a bunch of other things. And then they say they're doing it, as she's saying right now, because the man's going to use her up. You're going to keep being used up. See, because guys, this is why guys becoming passport bros. Because of this mindset of woman, right? Oh, I got to use you because you're using me. So I don't care how you feel. This is how most modern women are feeling. Meanwhile, when guys mature and they say, wait a minute, because guys do mature and they say, I'm not getting a certain type of character over here. And then they jump up and do this. Why you should marry a Filipina. Greet you at the door with a hug and a smile. Dinner is cooked. Views, it wants you to look good. Serves you every day. Look at that. Rice, chicken, house is always clean. Let me pause this real quick. Now, I wonder, like the woman before that, right? I wonder if there was things like this that was done on a regular basis. I wonder, right? And then she propositioned him to marry her. Because when women doing stuff like this, and you're coming home and things are laid out, and then automatically that's going to be in your head. It may not be top priority because you used to get it, but if a woman propositions you and says, look, babe, what are we doing? I'm already like your wife. Because that's what these women are doing. Women nowadays need to bring tables. Because that's why guys are leaving. Guys are why you should marry a Filipina. Nothing in this world like a Filipina girl. This is what's happening. Look at this. All of these things are happening for guys that are leaving. And more guys want to experience this because they already know and they already realize it's definitely more to life than going through anything that's not that.
We agree.